Welcome back to the Death Needs Dialogue Entertainment Network. This is The Depths of Felfan, Season 2, Episode 2, Green Glass and Goblins, Part A.
Also be careful, there's a spring in between these cushions.
There's a spring!
Fully embedded itself in my butt cheek the other night. Oh, you're just gonna chuck that under there?
Yeah.
Candyman.
There. Less chance of impalage.
Listen, it hurt. It fully went in my butt cheek. I didn't have
Impalage.
pants on.
Don't worry, I've had a tetanus shot.
So have I.
Impalage. The amount that you have been impaled.
Yes.
I once had I stepped on a nail on my bare feet. And I physically saw it underneath my skin, like on the top of my foot.
Oh yeah. I put a tire reamer through my hand. Because I was reaming a tire out like this.
Mm-hmm.
And then it went out, pulled it up too high, and then into the back of my hand. Fortunately, it wasn't one of the knurled tire reamers, it was one of the spiral ones.
Oh, well that came
Not
out
so bad.
rather, ooh.
I could literally feel it right here.
I remember panicking, and I just
You
put
can
my
see that, you can
hands
still
on the
kind of see the
board
hole.
and just ripped my foot off of it.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then I screamed like a banshee. I remember when Nanny had company over, and they were just getting out of the car, and they're like, "What the fuck is going on?"
How's Salazar coming? Very good.
I'm just deciding, while doing this, what kind of voice I should do for it.
Oh,
Clearly you shouldn't
I
do
don't-
it like this.
I don't know if I can get mine
Well,
back.
I was half debating British, but I don't want to do British because I suck at a British voice.
You don't really have to do the voice. what
When
you can
I
do is just,
started Lex, I was watching this show, and one of the
something
characters
weird.
was from Alabama,
like,
and that's how it went
this
so
voice.
smoothly.
it's the one I was...
I haven't watched that show in a long time.
You have to watch something,
Some Moxie,
I hear,
was
for
on
6 weeks straight.
Boston, but-
Like I'm
I
trying.
binged it hard.
Trick
There you
is
go, and
not
that's how it
have
works.
throat.
I want to
Yeah.
do
You'll get-
a Boston accent.
Yeah.
I want to try and do that. That's my next goal. The next thing.
Here's what you do.
Law and Order.
Listen, toots.
My current granny project.
Oh, nice. There you go.
Later.
Yep.
She's
Anyway.
becoming an old lady.
Becoming, I am 90. I was born 90.
Let me just quickly,
Old is coming around the
Figure it.
bend. She'll be coming around the mountain when she comes. Old
Looks like she
knees
never
cracking
comes.
when she
okay, so
comes.
it's my charisma modifier that I want.
Shh. These are skilled players. They know when you say that you can only be one of 3 different.
You know that I know shit, right?
And you should know that I don't really care, so...
We're gonna meet him anyway. The 22nd. Are you staying the night down there?
Oh, fuck yeah, I'm getting drunk. We're having a 10-hour marathon. We're giving away some t-shirts. We're giving away some prizes. Hopefully
Really?
people
I'll
are
go.
listening.
I'll go if you go.
I'll listen in at work.
Excellent.
Well, that's lame.
I'll turn it in at
Call in
well,
sick. Do you have sick time?
I unfortunately do not.
They don't like it.
My boss hates
That's
me
fair.
for it.
Is what's his face playing?
Who?
The guy that we met at
Yep.
First Falcon.
Yep.
He's nice.
Yep, he's a good guy. In attendance should be Neil Fisher, Terrence, Leno, also known as Chris, and myself. It's going to be funny throwing a girl in the mix with these guys.
Yeah, I feel with that. I already played with you guys.
Don't worry.
No, I'm going to introduce you as a special guest. I mean, it's not a show that you're going to particularly frequent. So
What is the premise of that game?
it's space. It's space. Have you ever seen the show Firefly?
I've seen the
Fucking
cover art for it.
She's too young
Okay.
for Firefly.
She's too young for Firefly. Well,
Too young
that's
for Firefly.
well, Firefly is basically cowboys and Indians in space. All right, and there's cannibal zombies in there somewhere too in a different form. But anyway,
Yep.
it's basically that. It's this Wild
They're
West.
over there. We don't
Yeah,
go
they're
there.
they're over there. They come in when the movie comes in, and
Yeah.
they sporadically
That's why
just
we don't
drop.
go to California.
Yeah, but it's this really cool Western style space adventure, and it's basically they're a bunch of pirates trying to make deals and do runs and stuff like this, but they get horseshoed with certain things. But there's that, and that's kind of the feel, except this one has more of a direction where the characters that have been chosen kind of already have a sort of direction where they're going, and I have a lot planned out ahead of time. It's a lot more.
Okay.
They're making the decisions, but they're all going to end up in the same place.
You're guiding them there.
Yeah.
All good. It's all selected.
You're all selected. Perfect.
All
Okay,
selected.
great. Yeah, and that's pretty much it. So the options of character creation are wide open. Like, I got these guys to make their own races, make their own home planet, all that stuff.
So very
It's very,
customized.
yeah, very open-ended, and yeah, that's pretty much it. The basic 5e rules for everything, and just laser guns. With laser guns, yeah. And weird weapons that if I think of offhand, or if you think of offhand, like there's an energy bow where they pull it and there's no string, but it just as soon as they do the hand motion, it starts gathering energy and shoots out this
It's a
pulse.
hard light bow.
Sorry?
Hard light bow.
Hard light bow?
Yeah, it's like there's a string there, but you can't see it. So when you start pulling on it, that's when it sort of shimmers in.
Yeah, basically, exactly. Yeah, it looks like it's charging up as you pull it back, and then and it goes. Anyway, small things like that, and they have a lot of interesting encounters because it's space. You can do almost whatever you want when you're not bound to the ground. Anyway, that's all that. So that's what it is. So you can be anything. You can be a space hoarding barbarian pirate to a politician from a world that's going on a diplomatic mission that just needs transportation. Anything you want to be. Anything. Or a high-end prostitute.
Excuse
Anything.
me?
Just go in there. All across the map. You can be whatever you want. Or a robot. One of them is a robot.
Cool.
And he can make little robots.
Delete. Exterminate.
Well, we're fed. We're ready. And I think it's about time, after so many weeks / months,
Right?
Yeah.
to get back into the depths of Felthan. We will have a new player joining us today, Riley. He's been in a few of our other games. He's come a long way, I would say, in my opinion, of a player. A long way. I remember him back in the basement days.
Back in the pre-basement
Sorry.
days.
Basement
of
days.
This town lynching him.
Yeah, we lynched this man.
You're a terrible
Yep.
bard.
Killed him twice in one camp. In one shot, we've killed him twice.
We still hold the records for most deaths outside of a gauntlet.
That's true. This is true. He does hold that record.
And also we found out that lava's a solid because of my misdeeds.
true.
Lava
Learning-
is solid?
Yeah,
Yep.
yeah. We found out
Lava
that when
is
you
a
get
solid.
lava, you don't go
I feel like I
sploosh.
missed
You just go.
something.
Actually, it's Legends Gauntlet episode 4. I think the episode title is "Lava is a Solid."
Yeah.
A very, very good episode.
It was.
Was I in that one?
You were in most of them,
Yeah, I
Tanith.
believe you were in
Yeah.
that one, and I believe.
Back-
I think it was hiding in that one. There was a George.
No, that was before
You
me.
you went 2.5. 2.5
Yeah,
because there's one that didn't finish and everybody got rewarded a half level for it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Like, oh, whoa, right there.
so we have a new character coming in, Riley. I'm excited to see him play a more serious, more dramatic kind of role playing. His role playing is already off the charts, but I'd like to see him focus it. He always leans toward that chaotic type. I want to refine this man, make him into a solid crystal.
So what you're saying is, we gotta get everyone in their happy place so they are the best role players ever.
Exactly.
Which means he probably needs to be high, I need to be drunk, and I need to be, I don't know.
We are going to start in a dark place. I like starting in a dark place. It's on par for everywhere we've started so far, but this is going to be a dark place. In a real dark place. Vega,
Oh no.
you have recently come back from a slaving outing. You were one of the key soldiers, one of the key nobles in this particular raid on one of these smaller islands in the tailings. And quite successful, mind you. You got a lot of high quality flesh in this particular raid. And you made it back, all in one piece. And upon your return, you found that your old and mostly decrepit father had perished.
About time.
Now, he was old
Fucking
and
rude. Dude, sorry.
past his days of aggression and into more of a political type of role. And now that you are the remaining of the purest bloodline in your particular family, you have to take that particular role now. And you do so. But you've changed in the past months, the past years. Things don't seem right. All the killing and the slavery and the death. And perhaps you've let one or two things let out to an unsafe ear. You know, there are many ears in this realm underground, in this northern polar region, where the drow live. And somebody did hear something. And late one night, out of normal realm of where someone would contact you, you receive a summons to meet an old friend of your father's. You barely even recognize the name, Candor, but you've been summoned there, and he's a higher noble house, so to refuse that would be an oddity on your part. So you attend. You go. You are led into this area, and where he tells you to go, it isn't his house or anything. It's in the city district, in an alley between two shut down businesses. And you notice one of the guards right off the bat. He's wearing the emblem of his house, Candor's house. As you walk into this alley, you can hear water dripping, pooling in some areas. It smells gross of refuse and not feces, just refuse from local establishments, things discarded and things decaying. As you walk down about halfway, you hear this voice, heavy with disdain, and it speaks to you. And he says, "Your father was an honorable man, and he has shown my house a great kindness. And for this, I give you a gift. I give you a gift of life. They are looking for you. They know that you're estranged. They know that you no longer wish to be here. This is all I will tell you. Consider House Valdez and House Candor square. If I see you again, I will not react the same way."
I feel if we meet again, it will be at the end of a blade.
You can see this form in the darkness. Roll perception.
21.
21. You can see this form kind of nod in the dark. And at his hip, you can see just a shimmer, just about a half an inch of a blade shimmer off in the phosphorescent light that seems to be in the local area. And he says, "Until then, you make it back to your manor, the Valdez Manor, huffing and puffing, kind of darting through alleyway, and then at this alleyway and that alleyway, you make it inside. You go in quietly to pack your things and move about, just enough what you have, just to get you out of the city, because you know what's coming for you. You know what happens to people who don't toe the line. You're gathering up some things, you get a pack full, and you make your way downstairs to gather some food. But as you're making your way down the stairs, you can hear a bang on the door. Heavy chains rattle on the door. Everything seems to be locked up, which is normal for for the drow community. Nobody really trusts anything. There's far too many slaves and too much chance for problems. But then you see a cousin of yours come down the stairs, Garrus, one of your cousins, and you quickly hide behind one of the pillars to the left and to the right of the main entry room. And the door bangs open again and again. The door bangs again and again. you can see your brother Garrus walk up to the door. You can see him and hear him speak into the door. Who is there? And a muffled sound comes from the outside, and he nods and he kind of looks around. And as you can see, he's looking at two other figures on the stairs. And they seem to be, one of them seems to be one of the maids, the other one seems to be another one of your cousins or some offshoot. You guys all live in an area, House Valdez. Those who are together, you live basically in one large manor. And as the door opens, as your cousin Garrus unlocks the door, the double doors bang open and swing wide. And as your cousin Garrus begins to say something to protest, he stops mid-word and roll perception.
19.
19. You can see his mouth open and his eyes darting left to right. He seems to be under some sort of spell. You glance over at the stairs. The two people on the stairs, their hands raised in surprise, also seem to be paralyzed. At that same moment, crossbow bolts launch from outside the door and hit the two figures on the stairs. 2 or 3 bolts in each one. You can see the pain stricken on their face, but they stay there, impaled. You can see as someone rushes up to Garrus, your cousin, puts his hand on his shoulder and shoves a rapier in his back 3 times. After that, you can hear footsteps begin to walk in. You can see figures now looking around. You can watch as one person walks up, snaps their fingers, and the 3 bodies that were held up by magic now fall and hit the ground, blood beginning to pour from the body. They begin to move through the house, leaving that area. Under cover of dark, or in the dark, Vega leaves his manor.
For the last time.
For the last time. Leaves his cousins, watches, perhaps looks back just one last time at the bodies left on the floor.
I am sorry that it came to this, but me versus you, I'll choose me every time.
He's a selfish dick.
Those hollow words drift away as Vega disappears into the darkness. And we fade away. We are now on a beach. It's warm. The sun is out, but it's hidden by clouds right now. It's kind of gray currently. Lex, Tanith, Deximus, and the bard Amy Anvilsong, along with a few other characters, are around. You've just bumped into Elise again, and she has informed you. And she says, I just put 2 and 2 together that I should have told you before, but I seen your friend. You guys responded in kind. Friend? What friend? What are you talking about? Mainly it was Nani who headed this conversation. And then she said, well, Frank, of course. He was here with another dark-skinned elf, a drow, I think they're calling him, and another elven female. They got on, I think it was, that's right, the brown goat, and they sailed off no more than 5 days ago. And that's where we're going to continue.
All of our characters up to this point thought Frank was dead, just so you know. In case that wasn't really... Frank was beloved. He was an NPC that wasn't supposed to ever really
And that's what happens.
get too much, but then...
And then he became a PC in a different campaign.
That's right, he did. And now he's going to be a dressed-up cosplay costume at Halcon. Whew! That's how. Road to riches, eh? And that's where you guys are. The sun is behind these gray casting clouds. The dock is busy with people selling fish, moving cargo. The boats, there seems to be 3 boats in all 3 docks, and that's where we're at. Nani is kind of there by Elise, and she's taking the information in, and Nani being Nani just kind of smiles and nods and
Should almost call her Naughty instead of Nani.
yeah, there you go.
Just nods a lot.
But you hear that Frank is still alive.
See, this is where we should have had Sheena to get Nani's actual reaction to that.
Yep, I know, and it's missing, so it just
It's
guts
lacking.
that entire storyline. But we're gonna have to change it. We're making it different. We're adding a little bit more Frank instead. Since we're losing the other part, we have to fill it in with a bit of Frank, which is fine because we lost a whole lot of Frank somewhere else. So we got a gap to fill, and I got the right guy to fill it. So it means I'll be able to jump in as more of a role player because I'll be more comfortable with Frank's mannerisms. But that being said,
Sorry, I'll stop cutting you off.
yeah, no worries. You guys,
You feel a loss.
yeah. You guys hear that from Elise, and she kind of starts walking with you guys towards the camp that has all the Vistani in it. And you guys make it to the camp.
Tannen's actually going to be like, you guys go on ahead, I'll be right back.
Okay.
Tanith goes and tries to find the largest fish he can physically carry.
Okay.
He's looking for a tuna.
All right. Okay. So you go to the fishmonger.
Well, I just pictured him in the river, like arms
Did
deep
you
in
want
the
to
water.
catch a fish? You
Nah,
want to buy a fish?
I have money, I think.
Yes, yeah.
I got lots of money.
Yeah, roll, let's see, roll persuasion. Because persuasion is one of these things, I guess. To find the biggest fish, you need to roll persuasion.
Yeah.
So we'll get you roll persuasion.
Question, do I have advantage since I'm very large and very armored?
Well, you gotta find the fish. Bartering with the guys where your large and armor is gonna come into play.
Aha, okay, I'm gonna roll the persuasion. 8.
8. All right, you are looking at several fishmongers up the line on the dock. There seems about 4 or 5, and nobody's selling large fish. The biggest one you've seen is this big red fin looking fish, and it seems to be about almost a meter in length. But it's no large tuna that only you you're looking for a fish that only you could carry.
Pretty much.
This doesn't seem to be one here on the dock. A red snapper is what I was looking for.
Those are delicious.
Yeah, and it's a big,
They're-
almost a meter long
they're
red
big.
snapper.
Maybe
Maybe that's a smaller red snapper. I'm
I've
not sure.
had snapper. They're really good.
Okay.
Whippersnappers.
Well, there's that one then.
Is this the largest fish that you have?
The dwarf kind of speaks up, kind of moves his beard out of his face. I've got one more like that, about 2 inches bigger.
How much for both?
Oh, for both, huh? I'd give you a silver and a half.
I give him a gold.
He takes the gold, bites on it, puts it in his pocket. He wraps them all up for you, and he also wraps up a small bag of what looks to be these really large scallops, and gives them to you as well.
Thank you, sir.
Good deal.
And then I make my way back to the friends.
Okay, sounds good. So you guys get to the
That's
to the camp,
for fish. It's like Sobeys.
and there's some music. There's some music playing. It's more of a happier tune this time of day. They kind of split out of the funeral dirge that they were playing before. But because they had lost a lot of their crew in the landslide, 2 out of 4 wagons I think they lost, and like 26 people of their tribe. It was a big loss.
Okay.
Yeah, it was a big loss episode last time. And there's only, I think I said there was only 11 of them now, 11 or 12, and that was including Elise and her son, Morris. And so you guys are there. You guys can also see, when you're there, Deximus is there getting his hair braided by one of the Vistani. He looks clean also. And as you approach, Lex...
Remind me what Deximus looks like. Is he a good-looking man? Is he older?
Deximus has he is really strong, but his charisma is 7. So he looks like, think about an old, not old, say between 50 and 60, chiseled warrior who stopped warrioring and became a bartender. So maybe a bit of a gut, but he's still got that muscle and he's still got that verve, but he's been like 30 to 40 years of hard war. Do you know what?
That's kind of perfect, but with long hair.
Like similar to that, but a little more slim, but still like he looks out of shape, but he's not out of shape.
Yeah.
That kind of charisma. Like, if Lex does know. If Lex can remember what he can bring to the table.
Yeah. So more like...
Do you remember the last episode?
Eddie Hall.
So, yeah, see, there you go. But,
I don't. I was going to listen to it, and I honestly...
So what happened was, you can see Lex there, and he's dressed up, and he's clean. One of the the girl Vistani who's braiding his hair, just finishing up, as you guys kind of went out, and, I think I might be speeding things along too much, but perhaps that meeting with Elise and walking around took a little bit longer. But anyway, because you guys had a fight with those rogues that came into the restaurant, and you killed them fairly easily, and it was that night that you rolled a dice to see if you were going to go into Deximus's room.
Oh my gosh, I forgot about that.
And because of that, Deximus wasn't able to help in the fight because he was upstairs. And anyway, so as you went to the tent...
And he wore my leggings or something, didn't he?
No, you just didn't have any when you woke up. So, you guys enter the camp, and he's there getting his hair braided by one of the Vistani women. And you and him kind of lock eyes. And I think...
Was it good? Do you remember how we rolled?
I don't think I can't remember. You were really hungover, and I can't roll it knowledge history. See how much you remember. We'll just do it over again. Correct. Oh my God! You're kidding me.
You dice are hard to read.
Sorry.
I
can change them up for bright colors.
4. I don't think it went well.
This is just to remember. This is just to remember because
She was that drunk.
Well,
apparently it was history. Sorry.
Yeah, history.
Wait, is that a 4?
Yep.
That's 5.
Okay, because he rolled a natural 1.
He doesn't remember it either.
But what he does remember, as he kind of stands up and as the lady finishes, he kind of walks over to you, and he's got a piece of cloth in his hand, and he kind of gives them to you, and he says, "I think these belong to you. They're I found them in my room, with many bottles of alcohol. Yeah, when you leave somewhere, if this was you, don't tie someone up to the bed and walk out.
Did I tie you up?
You ain't gonna be able to use these anymore." And he passes them to you, and you can see this large slash. They're slashed open, like from the side.
Did he cut my tights?
Yeah.
He was that upset?
Well, he tied him up to the
I
bed.
don't remember that part.
Yeah, I know it, and neither does he, but you're the only other woman with those emerald green tights. So,
Sarah.
and he remembers that.
Yeah.
I just slide them into my imaginary satchel of some sort.
And
What
Nani,
am I wearing then if I don't have my own tights on?
you're not used. I think the last you were wearing was just some common clothes, is what you said
Okay.
last. And your tunic or something
I
like
wanted to
that.
blend in a little bit more.
No. Nani kind of looks up to you and blushes for you.
Oh, I'm blushing enough on my own. There's
And-
not even have to roll that.
Elise looks up with a weird kind of look in her eye, just like an old grandmother, knowing, but, being too pious to say anything about it.
Silently judging.
Yes.
Exactly. But, a bit of a crook in her
Unmarried.
smile. Like,
Poor.
Elise, never. She's a kind-hearted person. And so that happens. He kind of walks off, and it's kind of awkward since you guys both. He rolled a 1, you rolled a 5. You both really don't know what happened, but you know something happened.
Apparently I tied him to a bed. And it's perfect that I truly don't remember it,
Yeah.
so it works out.
And Tanith then comes back Roll insight, Tanith.
Uh-oh. 17.
17. Alright, as you walk into camp, you can see that Lex is full on red-faced blush. You don't really know why, you didn't really see why, but you can also see Deximus. He's clean. His hair's done, which is odd for Deximus, and he just seems to be awkward just standing around. He's usually doing something, has a purpose, but he's just trying to find, he doesn't know what's going on. Just kind of standing there by the wagon, trying to act cool. Also looks incredibly hungover. Even though he's clean and wearing clean clothes, he looks incredibly hungover.
Deximus. Come on, man. Come on back. Go get yourself some water. You need it.
He has a flask on him and he drinks out of the flask.
That's not water.
And he goes, "No, it ain't." So the day kind of goes on. You guys can see Erelon and that new interesting fella, Nim, that cat-like folk, talking a lot, conversing and everything. And you can see in Nim's hand, he's always got his hand on this blade, this weird-looking wooden-handled blade that you guys see him with. He's always got his hand on it, swiveling it around, swirling it between his fingers. And the day goes on. Did you guys want to do anything roleplay in the town? We think we pretty much... Oh, yeah, that's right. And the day goes on. Eventually, Nani goes and starts walking around and leaves the camp, and so does Nim and Erelon. It's the day. There's not much to do in town, and I think Erelon mentions that he's going to go see about passage on ships and whatnot, and things like that. That seemed to be his target last time. So he's going off and doing that, and Nim kind of tags along. And you guys are either at the camp, just hanging out, kind of getting your bearings on what you're going to do next. You guys have orders from Slanor, that weird gecko smoothie, and also orders from Oros, same orders.
It's very more important.
But this is kind of the first time you guys got to sit down and maybe, look at your magic items or anything like that. You guys still remember you have that Godstone that's hanging out. You guys got that piece of stone that I mentioned?
Who has that?
Nani have that in her pocket?
Well, it's she has the thing that detected the Godstones when there was a Godstone. Anyway, if you have that, that's a thing you guys are going to have to interact with to use, but it gives you some bonuses and some other things, but know that you have that piece of equipment. But the day goes on, and it begins to get more dark and more dark. You can see some people coming out of their businesses and looking at the sky and shaking their heads, some of them just outright shaking their fist at the sky. And waves begin to get bigger. You guys can see the boats rocking back and forth, clattering off the dock. The wind blowing in and a bit of the spray coming off the waves if you're close enough down by the dock there.
Storm coming?
It appears there's a storm coming. Roll knowledge nature.
I'm not here.
Not yet. Well, you are. Roll knowledge nature.
15.
6.
Tanith, you've been underground way too long. You, my friend,
underground.
were not hired for your navigational or your weather skills. Meteorology skills. That's it.
Different set of
And
talent.
Tanith, you've been underground for too long, but
And weather doesn't matter to the Knights of Oros anyway.
that's it. But Lex, you can definitely see that there's a storm rolling in. It's moving fairly quickly, too. It should be on you within the next hour or two. And it's been about 4 or 5 hours since everybody decided to walk off. So I mean, you get a bit of a feeling that there's gonna be a storm. You can see some of the old folks kind of hobbling back up the hill to their houses with on crooks and on canes, complaining about bad knees and sore joints. As you can feel the wetness, the moistness in the air begin to creep up. And
Damp.
you look around, it is damp, you can feel it in the air. You look around again, you guys can't see Nani. She hasn't been back for 4 or 5 hours. You can't see Erelon or Nim. They haven't returned either.
I'm gonna go looking for what's your name? Tanith?
Yep, Tanith should be right there.
I just had a moment. I couldn't remember
I'm not hard
Tanith's
to
name.
find.
Sure, he's not hard to find. Absolutely, no perception check to find Tanith, even in the dark with his little Jacob's ladder lightning bolt on his forehead. Bzzz, bzzz. I love that image.
It's like every
God,
2 or
I love
3
that
minutes,
image.
just kind of
2 or 3 minutes. Okay, there you go. Okay, that sounds.
And you can do it on command too.
Okay, cool.
Because
All right.
electricity is kind of his thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd go over to him and see. I think there's a storm coming. We might want to batten down for a while.
Should be battening down the hatches when she comes.
You can see at the mention that the Vistani kind of look about, kind of lost in their ways, as you tell that to Tanith. They look about, and a few of the older ones begin to nod. They seem to be kind of aloof right now. There doesn't seem to be anybody kind of directing them. You know, they're usually directed by the elders. There doesn't seem to be many elders in this
Oh,
group.
right, because they're gone.
Most of them died. Oops.
Maybe we can find a room somewhere for a little while.
Yeah.
Maybe where'd your traveling companions go?
I honestly don't know. I don't ask. They didn't tell.
By the looks of the sky, we don't have much time to find them either.
Smells like lightning.
That's really definitely. You can definitely smell the ozone in the air. Absolutely. That's good. Dice of inspiration for that one, man. I like that. Yeah, that's good. Here, I'll give you dice of inspiration. Painted by our very own Short Greg. You guys are on the shore and you want to go looking for your friends. So I'll get you to roll perception. If you guys want to roll each or roll one with advantage.
Yeah. What?
We both rolled 10s.
10s?
Mine's a flat. Then,
Okay.
yeah.
Mine's an 11.
All right. Well, you guys do a little bit of looking on the docks. You don't see her down there. You go up to the first row of businesses and shops there, and you can see over by the inn that you guys were in before. There seems to be a large black carriage there, and it's very black, very shiny. And on the side of it, there is a name, and I'd have to go back heavy for that name, but it's the symbol of the northern shears. It's like a police outfit. I can't remember their name. Maybe the South Shore something.
The South Shore from the north?
No, I'm making a mistake. Northern Shears is the mountain. The Southern Shores is the Southern Shears is the deltas that goes out into the water, and from there they're the South Shore something or other. But they are basically the police, the governing police force from that area, and you can see that there, right outside of the shop, out of the inn.
Would the Emerald Guard have knowledge of this outfit?
Yeah, I'll get you roll history on it for sure.
My rolls have not been kind tonight. 12?
You're aware of them. Yep, they're across the water from you guys, but you're aware of that particular militant force. And they are out. You can see the wagon on the outside.
Should you check that out?
You know these guys?
Well, I have knowledge of them, but I wouldn't know them personally.
They probably know them more than I would.
Good guys, bad guys.
Police, good, bad, some are good, some are bad. Mostly they do good things. They seem to be someone who's called in to do more menial tasks over more high-end investigations and things like that.
So
They're
not really
below us.
Worth our time.
Maybe.
It's like FBI and beat cop.
Possibly, yeah. Maybe like special marshal.
Okay.
Yeah.
A little less.
U.S. Marshal.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah,
State
do you know
trooper.
what? That is perfect. Like a U.S. Marshal. Yes, definitely. Where they can operate through different barriers than your regular beat cop wouldn't. So, then this is perfect for it.
Town
Yes.
guard. These guys. Us.
Exactly. Yes.
Because we're technically high military.
So you guys see that sitting outside of there.
Yeah, that's fun.
Do you get closer?
Sure.
All right. Roll. Once you get closer to the wagon, yeah, you see when you get closer to the wagon, you can see that the wagon is like an armored wagon. It says that the back door is armored. It has a big lock on it. Just a little tiny little grate up at the top.
That's a prison wagon.
It's a prison wagon.
I wonder if there's anybody in it.
If there is, probably not art. Probably not anything involving us.
Is that where you are? I guess you don't know. My spidey senses are tingling.
What do you guys do? It's starting to rain now.
We need to take cover.
Yeah. Are they parked outside of a inn or something?
Yep, the inn you guys spent the night in last night.
Well, I'm going back in there.
Okay, so you guys go back in there.
Because I know they have a bed that I can fit in.
That's right. You
Or at
guys
least partly.
walk in.
Whoa.
Rain dripping off you just a little bit. You got in just in time. And you can see Mary Ellen standing there at the bar. And Mary Ellen's the owner of the bar.
Okay.
And across from her standing there is a dwarf. I think a dwarf and an elf. Yeah, a dwarf and an elf are standing there. Let's see. Oh, sorry, no. A human and a dwarf. Yep.
Is this a bad joke? A human and a dwarf walking
Oh.
by?
No, this is... Go in with happy thoughts, huh?
Happy thoughts.
Happy
Happy thoughts.
thoughts.
There's a big storm coming and the police are outside with a paddy wagon.
Human and
That's
dwarf
right.
walking to
And
a
you
bar.
did see a wagon rider on it
have
as
to
well. Kind of huddle under the stoop of the wagon.
Trying to stay as dry as you can.
Trying to stay as dry as you can, absolutely. And you guys go in there. And as soon as you open the door, the sets of eyes swivel all towards you guys as you walk in. Hang on you for about 2 or 3 seconds, and then swivel back to Mary Ellen. They begin to continue talking in hushed voices.
Do not be suspicious. Do not be suspicious. So we already have rooms. We don't have to ascertain those.
You paid for one night.
Okay.
Yeah, you guys paid for one night.
I would walk up to Mary Ellen. What a country name, Mary Ellen.
Yeah. So roll perception as you're walking up there, both of you, if you're both walking up.
It's an 11.
It's an 11?
7.
7, okay. That seems like an arguable. So there.
Probably appropriate.
We got
yeah.
there. 7 and 11. Okay, my rolls were just around the same. So you guys hear a bit of the conversation. And you hear Mary Ellen kind of just say a little bit of the conversation. And the old bat, well, no worry about it now is, can I help you? Oh, you need another room for the night.
Yes, please.
Aye, 3 gold each, or if 3 gold each. Just leave it there.
Pop her a platinum.
The doors are unlocked.
I side glance at Tanith with his money pockets.
You can see her absent-mindedly grab the platinum, not even looking at the coinage you put, just slide it in her pocket, without even looking at the coinage itself.
Insight.
Yeah.
Ooh. 9.
9. She seems to be very wrapped up in the conversations she's having with this elf and this dwarf.
Can I also see what I can perceive of this?
Yep, just roll your insight. You can see also the elf and the dwarf are wearing the same liveries as you've seen on the side of the wagon. It says, what do we think here? It was South Shears. It just says SS.
So. Oh. South Ranger Corps.
Yeah, there's
SSRC.
SS with a
19.
circle around it, and the S's are just kind of peeking out the top and the bottom.
19.
19. Yes, you can see that there's. She stopped the conversation as you guys got close, and she seems to be not bringing the topic up again as you guys are next to them.
Is everything alright? Is there anything we can help you with?
And she says, "Oh no, there's nothing you can help with. Your rooms are upstairs." The two guys then turn to you, and the dwarf speaks, and he says, "Aye, there's nothing you can help us with. Our business is done here." He looks at Mary Ellen. "Mary Ellen, I'll see you next time." He slides over a pouch that was on just on the edge of the table. You guys couldn't see it. He slides it over, and it's this fairly large pouch full of coinage, one could imagine. And they begin to walk to the door. She scoops up the bag of coinage and slides it underneath the desk.
Someone giving you some trouble?
"Oh, an old thorn in my side. Now, easily pricked into something that she can't get out of for a long time." She has this weird smile on her face. Tanith, you don't pick it up, but with your insight from before, you pick it up. The door opens, the door closes, the two men leave.
Side glance at Tanith again.
Tanith isn't paying attention. He's kind of looking for the... Is the cook available? I have something that I need prepared.
Aye, you're looking at her. Puts her hands up.
How good are you with fish?
I can do my best.
I reach into the bag of holding and pull out the two large red snapper.
Just keep those in your pocket.
Nah, bag of holding.
Bag of holding, yep.
Yes.
She nods and she says, "Aye, I'll make them presently." She takes them both, walks in the back.
I do.
You can hear her singing this kind of whistling this happy tune. I've been trying to whistle lately. I'm gonna get Frank whistling, but and that's what you hear. And you hear "Hyah!" and a snap of leathers, and you can hear a cart begin to jingle and jangle away.
Lex is gonna go upstairs. She's a little tired from the night before. This is like the day after kind of thing, right? Yeah. With her poor ruined tights. She's gonna see if she can find some thread. Stitch those up.
All right.
Yeah. Tanith will actually go up to his room as well and actually take off the armor he's been wearing for literally ever.
Okay.
And just
Stretch.
stretch and relax, and then throw on some casual clothes, go back downstairs.
Okay. Excellent. So
There's
you
still
head back
all black
downstairs.
clothes, but you know.
Yep, for sure. You're down there in your casual clothes, and a few more people enter the establishment. There seems to be a little bit of music. 2 or 3 of the Vistani have come in as sitting at a table. One occasionally goes up to the small dais and plays a bit of a song. About an hour and a half has passed. The rain is coming down steadily now. And you guys can see from the window, you can see the ring, or the two Vistani tents off in the distance there. People kind of huddled in and around them. And you can hear some thunder in the distance, banging. And while you're down in the common room, I'll get you to roll perception there, Tanith.
Oh no. 5.
Okay.
Gosh, get some dice.
That's
Change those
it.
out.
This seems to be a fair amount of conversation going on, and none of it really kind of lands to Tanith's interest. But you sit down there, you're giving a large mug, a large horn filled with ale.
I think it's probably just a pitcher at that point.
Yeah, pretty much. Definitely one of the serving pitchers. And the, time begins to go by. You can see lightning off in the distance kind of fill and flash the room up. Lex, as you're upstairs. What were you doing upstairs?
I'm trying to mend my tights.
Oh, yes.
My commander would have fit. He saw the state of my uniform.
And
Wait, I am the commander. Well,
you end up
some sort.
stitching them up easily enough. And now you have a repaired pair of tights. Lightning flashes outside again, filling up the room, filling up the common room. This purple lightning.
Lex shudder. She doesn't like it.
Seeing purple lightning, Tanith would instantly see that and no, that's not right.
That's right. It's not right.
Lex is gonna make her way downstairs.
Okay. So you make your way downstairs, and as you're coming down the stairs, the door bangs open, and in the rain steps in Deximus. And he kind of looks around, he looks up the stairs, and he sees you, and his mouth opens just a little bit agape, then he closes it and looks about, and he sees Tanith, and he and walks over, and he kind of leans down on the table, and he says, I looked everywhere, I can't find her. I can't find Nani, I can't find her. I've been all the way up the hill. I heard a rumor that someone had thrown her into some sort of wagon, some big black wagon. These big white letters on the side, S&S. And I've been looking for the whole damn thing this whole time. I can't find her nowhere.
Oh no.
I can't believe you guys just walked by that.
My head is literally in the
We
clouds.
didn't roll very well either.
I know, there's that. The rolls.
I'm very tall, I'm very tired, and I'm very hungry.
Is this the inn that Nani, like, did some shit long before I came
Yeah.
to this game?
Yeah,
Oh my
that's
gosh, see, too many things, Cal. You are a storyteller of
Yep.
So,
proportions.
Weaver
You guys-
tales.
you
Thank
guys,
a Weaver is a good...
you guys hear that, and you hear that coming down the stairs.
See, I don't really
Not
know
like
Nani.
not like Nani's a big deal, but it's definitely one of the party, and yeah, but Tanith.
Kenneth looks like he just lost his mother.
Yeah, one of the more motherly figures I've had over the years.
I go over.
Well, the Southern Shears got her. She'll be fine.
But why would they take her to begin with?
Well, knowing her history, she probably did something involving the kitchen here.
The kitchen.
You know how she's always cooking.
I've only met Nani for like 35 seconds.
And there goes some backstory.
Yeah, so for the next 30-35 minutes, he fills you in on what Nani is and what she does, and now you're completely familiar with what she has done and completely sad about it.
Thanks for adding to my sadness.
So do you guys do any seeking or information gathering about what happened to Nani?
I now care about this woman. I have found out. So I'm gonna march myself back over to Maybelline or whatever the fuck her name was.
Mary Ellen?
Mary Ellen.
Yeah.
And I gotta get that voice back. Hang on. What could this woman possibly have done to you that was so bad that you had to throw? That's getting really hick.
That's true. It works though. She is
That
some
you
kind
could have just thrown her out to them. Surely you could have just worked something out. She seems like a reasonable human being.
Well, reasonable to everyone except me. She was I won't say the word in public with this many people around. But she first off stole my goat, took my best frying pan, and not only committed murder right outside my shop, which she's now in prison for.
Murder? Well, my stars.
She says that, and if you kind of inquire further, she will defend herself with paperwork.
Paperwork.
Yeah, basically a scroll that she brought out, and it's a bounty for Nani's arrest, capture, dead or alive, for murder and fleeing and escaping prison also. But if you read the documents and bring them over to Tanith and he looks at them, they're perfectly legitimate. It appears Nani was convicted of murder. She fled the charges. They couldn't find her, so one thing led to another. She was convicted and guilty. And then they did find her in the Shears. It's all outlined in the warrant. And they captured her, brought her to the prison, and then somehow she escaped the prison.
That feisty old dwarf.
And they finally tracked her down again through the help of Mary Ellen. So you guys hear that unfortunate information and kind of, maybe feel bad you didn't look in the wagon or something like that.
Oops. Way blind.
But
Justice must be served.
Looking up from the bounty note, I was like, that feisty old dwarf was holding out on us. Granted, we never could get much information out of her anyway.
She couldn't remember half the time.
Yeah, which is why she didn't tell us. I'm like, Tanith is highly amused by this.
And as you guys kind of get this information, the storm is kind of rumbling overhead. It's just getting onto the evening. It's about to turn dark. And
Notice Lex flinches every time the thunder rolls.
And I'll get you all to roll perception. That's everybody.
Okay.
Natural 20.
Okay.
4.
That is a 10.
Okay, so the 10 and the 4 don't smell it. But 10, if you're familiar with the smell. The smell of old. You've smelled smells before. And this is the smelliest smell you've ever smelled.
This is truly one of the smells of all time.
The smell of rotting, decaying wood. Damp. Decay. Dank.
Thank you for watching the Death Needs Dialogue Entertainment Network. This is The Depths of Felthan, Season 2, Episode 2, Green Glass and Goblins, Part A.